This is lab number 7. Talk about adding and subtracting rational expressions. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, you always want to have a common denominator. So we want to look at the least common denominator for each problem and then try to manipulate each fraction so that it has that same denominator. So let's look at example 1. We'll write the least common denominator over to the right. So the denominator for example 1 has x squared y in the first fraction. And then the second fraction, we have 2 over x y to the third. When we see that, we see several factors here. We see this first fraction has 2 x's and 1 y. The second fraction has 1 x and 3 y's. To be a common denominator, then you've got to have the same number of x's and y's in each fraction. So I see this first fraction has 2 x's and 1 y. Well, this other one has 3 y's, so I need 2 more y's for this one, right? And if the bottom part gets it, the top part gets it as well. And then on the second fraction, I need 2 more x's, or 1 more x to get 2 x's. So I need an x here and an x there. And so my least common denominator is going to be x squared y to the third. Okay, x squared y to the third. So that's going to give me 3y squared over x squared y to the third. And then the second fraction is 2x over x squared y to the third. Because it has a common denominator, we look for like terms up top. If not, 3y squared minus 2x is in the numerator. The denominator is x squared y to the third. We have completed that problem. So least common denominator, that's what we're looking for there. Example 2, we have a little bit more polynomial-like expression to deal with rational expressions that have polynomials in the denominator. So here we have 4y over y plus 2 and plus 2 over y minus 1. And we're trying to get a common denominator. So the least common denominator. Normally, you would try to factor the denominators if at all possible. So here, y plus 2 does not factor at all. Neither does 3y minus 1. Makes this problem much easier because then the least common denominator is going to be the product of the two. So y plus 2 times 3y minus 1. And if the least common denominator is y plus 2 times 3y minus 1, that means the first fraction doesn't have the 3y minus 1. So it gets it on the top and the bottom. Okay. Second fraction has the 3y minus 1, but does not have the y plus 2. So it gets it again on the top and bottom. And then we distribute, so 4y squared times 4y times 3y would be 12y squared minus 4y. And then plus, and then we have the LCD, y plus 2, 3y minus 1. And then the second fraction, we distribute the 2, so that's 2y plus 4 over again that common denominator, y plus 2, 3y minus 1. And then we combine like terms with the addition. So we're going to have 12y to the second power. Negative 4y plus 2y would be negative 2y plus 4. All of that over y plus 2 times 3y minus 1. Simplify that expression by adding the common terms to that. Okay. All right. Lab number 7 for Math 110.